And by the way, this is the White House to the jailhouse. What's his name? Sheldon Whitehouse?
Sheldon Whitehouse.
Sheldon Whitehouse. And look what he's pointing at. Looks like he's pointing at the valuetainment shield. Look at that. Valuetainment, baby.
Good job, Natalia.
Good job,
That's perfect
Natalia.
placement.
So, yeah, Dave, talk to us.
it's
I didn't hear nothing about this story.
It's a wild story, and I'm going to be pronouncing a hard H on Sheldon Whitehouse throughout this entire story. Sheldon Whitehouse is a whopping piece of shit. He's a piece of garbage. I didn't know him from a hole in the wall until the confirmation hearings, which I watched live streamed. And I'm watching, I was like, this guy is the most arrogant, condescending prick on earth. This is a man who feigns virtue, and I say it only correlates to the degree of his own corruption, lack of ethics, depravity. We'll get to what Sheldon Whitehouse is alleged to have done for the benefit of his wife. But first, let's play this.
Is he an East Coast Democrat?
Oh, yeah, he's a Democrat.
Where's he from?
Rhode Island.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, I already know.
Look at his, first of all, he's ugly. I mean, it doesn't help. I think he's ugly because he's an ugly person. He looks like Alec Baldwin's relative or something. We won't play the whole thing, but just listen to him trying to entrap Kash Patel during the confirmation hearings.
Okay, go ahead.
My humble opinion.
You supposedly know something about grand juries.
Can you put the volume up now?
I just went to the DOJ website to get language. I'm quoting it. Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 6E
Volume up.
prohibits most persons present during the proceedings from disclosing what transpired inside the grand jury room. However, the proscription does not apply to witnesses. Do you now, as a grand jury witness, authorize this committee access to a transcript of your own testimony?
Senator, I authorize this committee to get whatever is appropriate and lawful, as I've said before.
Specifically including
We could pause it here
the
because
transcript.
just to explain what's going on here. Adam Shit for Brains McShitface, he did the same thing to Kash Patel. Kash Patel testified in the grand jury in one of the Trump cases.
Yeah.
And I believe, and it's my understanding, there is something of a seal order in that case. They were trying to get Kash Patel to disclose what they knew he could not disclose by way of his testimony before the grand jury by appealing to this rule of procedure that says a witness can disclose what they talked about when they knew there was some form of an order in that case that prevented Kash from doing it. Adam Schiff did the exact same thing. And it's worth noting that Adam Schiff came out and lied about the Russiagate hoax when he knew that nobody could contradict him because to do so would require violating the confidentiality rules of the committee.
Yeah.
So they were doing the same thing to Kash Patel here. I called it at the time. And I believe I've been vindicated in terms of that prediction. So that's the type of person Sheldon Whitehouse is. Well, it came out the other day that Sheldon Whitehouse may have been voting on grants that were bestowing tens of millions of dollars to some Ocean Conservancy fund that his wife was receiving consulting fees from by way of her consulting agency known as Ocean Honk.
What? I love that you're such in the even words that don't have the H. You're like his wife.
It's a big problem that I have right now.
Go ahead.
So it's a cool whip. So it was Libs of TikTok that broke. Well, Libs of TikTok tweeted out. It's a fact. Something for accountability. Some not-for-profit organization that said, "Oh, we want an investigation into Sheldon Whitehouse because it seems like he's up to no good." I tweeted out a video the other day and tweeted out some questions like, hey, Sheldon, these are some pretty serious accusations. Can we get an answer on this? And if we're showing that right now, you can just go click on the screen grabs because this is, the news that was on the Ocean Conservancy website where they're talking about getting millions of dollars from the government by way of grants.
That sounds good.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It's great.
Great.
They get
Did they do it, though?
Then they go, oh, look at this. So this is Fox News. It says, Whitehouse's wife, Sandra, is employed as president of the consulting firm Ocean Honks, LLC, and has since been 2017 per her LinkedIn page. Before that, she was the director of employee of Ocean Conservancy, the very same agency that's getting grants that her husband is voting to approve.
Wow.
So what's the next
Conflict
one?
of interest a little bit?
Maybe
a touch.
So if we go to the next one, I just want to, I like to double fact check
Go
all
ahead,
of my
double
stuff. By the way,
fact.
I got burnt by Grok today. Apparently Grok will
I'm
give
so
you wrong
pissed
answers.
off.
It was not a big deal, but I like to correct myself. So if we go to the next thing here, because here we go. This is from their website, Ocean Conservancy, which gets the grants and then pays consulting fees to Sheldon Whitehouse's wife's agency. It says here, today representatives, when was this from? July. By the way, half of what they got was in 2024.
Oh,
before Trump got elected.
Of course.
Here you go. Today, Representatives Matsui and Mullen, yada, yada, introduced the International Maritime Pollution Accountability Act in the House of Representatives. Ocean Conservancy endorsed the legislation when it was first introduced by the yada in the Senate by Sheldon Whitehouse.
What?
And Alex Padilla. Padilla is another piece of trash.
Yeah, I know exactly what that is.
So
California
this
scumbag.
reeks of the most unethical conflict of interests on earth.
Did they do it though? Did they do what they said they were going to do?
They got the money. He voted on the bills. This is their beautiful website here. You guys just look how amazing this is.
Makes me want to just go on a
Oh,
barge.
you can donate to them too. Ocean Conservancy. Go to the next one here. I think is the next one is her LinkedIn page. Here you go. Sandra Whitehouse, president at Ocean Wonks. And then you go to the next one where I highlighted the. Here you go. Look at this. Consultant, senior policy advisor, Ocean Conservancy to present.
Did they clean the ocean with the money
hell
they were
knows?
given?
They don't have doing the damn thing.
They are pocketing millions under this climate crisis pretext.
Got it.
And this is how it's good to be in the club. Thus far, Sheldon Whitehouse has not said anything about it. The son of a bitch sits there grilling Kash Patel, calling the finest people on earth corrupt, liars, when this man, by all accounts, has been sitting there personally profiting to the tune of millions that his wife was getting, in virtue of stuff that he's voting on. And I'm trying to steel man, like what would the steel man argument be? Either they didn't get it and it's factually incorrect, but that is not the case, or they did get it and he somehow disclosed the conflict of interest, or it's not illegal, so dip in that honey pot.
It's so wild to watch these people who, you know that there's evidence that they're implicated in certain financial intricacies. I don't want to call them crimes because I don't know if they're crimes. But you look at Elizabeth Warren, and during the RFK Senate confirmation hearing, she's up there losing her mind about the damage that's going to be done to pharmaceutical companies. But then you see that she's actually getting paid by pharmaceutical companies, or her campaign is getting money and donations for.
Still her.
But it's wild to me that these people get up in front of the American public. Maybe I'm just a complete and utter moron. We've discussed this, and earlier we talked about stupid people voting for Biden. I was one of those. How can you have the balls to get up there and publicly look into a camera, lie, meanwhile knowing that there's factual information out there that proves that you're tied to these big pharmaceutical companies, or you have ties to these environmental companies, and lie to the American public and sleep at night and not even, like, I would think that you'd be able to go, hey, you could see the person having like a poker tell, that you could see that they're clearly uncomfortable answering the questions. They're psychopathic to be able to get up there and lie like that.
And no accountability.
They hide behind the legalese because Elizabeth Warren and Bernie
Sanders.
I didn't take it from executives. They say, well, I didn't get it from PACs, political action committees, so therefore it's clean. They bypass all of that. This is basically it's campaign money laundering, basically.
Of course,
but
it is.
It's legal in a sense. But the problem is, I'll be damned if it's not unethical, and I'll be damned if it doesn't violate certain House rules, Senate rules, whatever. When Justin Trudeau accepted that all expense paid vacation to Aga Khan's island. You heard about this? This was his first ethics violation. This is like $45,000, $50,000, all expense paid, while Aga Khan is petitioning the Canadian federal government for tens of millions of dollars in grants, whatever. It's an ethics violation. I don't know what the laws are here, but I want to hear what his explanation is.
I'd love to see someone take a deeper dive into these like spouses, and like it's always, I'm telling you, it goes back to that a lot. I'm being from New York. I remember Bill de Blasio and how he like funneled tons, $850 million through his corrupt wife that just so happened to disappear. No one knows where it is. Now they're off the grid, never to be held accountable. And
bro, and what do you mean? Look
it happens all the time.
Look at Joe Biden's entire, bro.
100%.
I remember there was payments. I don't know the actual age, but like 12-year-olds were getting money.
It's incredible.
He paid for his son's hookers by accident through his official bank accounts.
Yeah,
but
he did.
Ilhan Omar does the same thing.
Exactly.
You know, you get your husband on there, you get these monies, her
brother husband?
Well, there was the issue about whether or not she married her brother to facilitate his immigration. Which she has neither confirmed nor denied that it's a racist.
It's called unfounded.
But her husband, her husband, received $850,000, $1 million in consulting fees and whatever from the monies that she raised. So it's a racket. They're all a bunch of criminals, and I want to hear what Sheldon Whitehouse has to say for himself.
Yeah, Sheldon, you freaking
himself has the age.
Well, I love that you said whatever you wanted, and even Rob, when Rob said who, I thought Rob was gonna go, excuse me, who the hell is that guy? But yeah, dude, I'm not a fan. Like I've seen him speak before, and I saw just a clip of him, but I didn't know the story. So I'm happy. Oh yeah, bro.
They are They are criminals. Adam Schiff is a criminal.
Oh, yeah, big time.
They are all, that's not to say there's not some Republican criminals.
Good, yeah.
But right now, you want that big shiny spotlight of transparency, White House.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, by the way, and I love the misconception. I'm going to go to you, Chris.
Yeah.
The misconception of Republican left, right. I don't get. If you're guilty, go to jail. Period. End of freaking story. Even Dan Crenshaw, who I'm not a fan. He's a freaking globalist, freaking Ukraine-loving, pin-wearing, freaking eye patch McCain guy. But bro, if he's guilty there's a lot of insider trading rumors. If you're guilty, I don't care if there's an R or a D. I want you to go to JAIL. I spelled it right, jail. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.